Oilers, you got a great offense with Connor McDavid. So I have them sweeping them.
Yeah, well, I don't think you heard my point. The San Francisco Giants have 3 more in the 2010s than the Rangers have in their entire history. So, yeah.
It's hard to get back and to get back-to-back wins. And I don't see the Lightning doing it here, so I have them losing to the Hurricanes in 6.
We don't talk about the 2010s because the 2010s had the Astros. And if the Astros didn't happen, the Yankees would have won in 2017.
He was close to Frank Reich, and they want Frank Reich back, so that's what they got. It's their discount Frank Reich.
Kaprizov and the rest of this crew. Jordan Greenway, who doesn't get enough props. He definitely is somebody who needs to be mentioned more.
Hi, this is Julie Dobbs. You're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our MLB Opinions of the Week. I'm Kevin. I'm joined by the man that I'm not sure how you feel about this one. You have an AL East opponent against the Dodgers for the second consecutive year. Sadly, though, Austin is not the Yankees.
No, it is not. And it is going to be, I think, a very tough series for the Blue Jays to win. I was talking with people who I know are going to watch it as well, and they had the same sentiment as me. This is going to be a very tough series because the Dodgers' pitching has been dominant. Blake Snell, I believe, only has like a .52 ERA in the playoffs thus far, and that is extremely impressive. But the Blue Jays have to win one of the first two in Toronto, or it's over. I don't think if they do what they did last series against Seattle and lose the first two at home, they can win the series.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I totally agree with you. This is really tough for any team, really, to beat the Dodgers just because of how well built they are. Not only do you have the pitching, you have Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, but to me that makes it so tough to beat is you have to limit Shohei Ohtani. That's the guy that can just ruin the game.
Yeah, and if you go down there, who they're going to pitch between Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow, and Ohtani. I mean, those are all MVPs or All-Stars or Cy Young candidates or previous Cy Young winners. Those are very, very good pitchers. And it's going to take a lot from the bullpen of the Blue Jays to keep them in it because I don't know how far the Toronto starters will be able to go, especially people that aren't Kevin Gausman, right? So I think that for Toronto to win this series, they have to win one of the first two, and then they have to win probably the game that Ohtani starts. I think Ohtani is still the weakest starter of the four, even though Ohtani is incredible. I don't think he's back to who he was previously as a pitcher. So you have to take advantage of Ohtani, try to get in his head, and hopefully that'll affect him a little bit hitting-wise as well. Last year in the postseason, especially in the World Series, he struggled mightily. And I think that's partially why the Yankees had a chance in that series, even though it was a 5-game series. So limiting Ohtani is definitely important. And playing to your strengths, I think, is also important for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are not a home run hitting first team. They like to get on base. They have one of the highest batting averages in the MLB. And they don't need to change for a home run approach. Do what got you here and get on base as much as you can. And that'll give you the best chance of winning.
Absolutely. To me, what has really helped the Blue Jays is their batting average and just getting guys on base and getting those hits. Because over time, that's going to put more pressure on the pitcher in a series compared to a home run where you're just going to get one score, but it could just be a one-pitch home run. A home run for the Blue Jays.
Well, it's harder to pitch with guys on base because you don't want that run to get home. But if you allow a home run, okay, now you can just ignore it. The guy got in, it's fine, let's keep playing. But in the sense that you don't want to let a guy get on to hit a double and then you hit a single and there's a guy on first and third, that's really hard to pitching, and you're going to give up more runs in those type of situations than a guy who hits a solo homer.
Absolutely, and it's going to up that pitching count and get to the Dodgers bullpen faster. So for the way the Blue Jays can win this is extending the game. extending the series. I could see them, if they do win, it goes to 7. And another thing that I want to talk about is, yes, we all rave about Shohei Ohtani because he is one of the best baseball pitchers and just how great the Dodgers are. But the Blue Jays do have Vlad Guerrero Jr. And that's someone that I think needs to have a big series. He had a big series against the Mariners. He needs to continue that if the Blue Jays want to go foot to foot with the Dodgers.
Yeah. I think that the advantage for the Dodgers is their starting pitching and then their power, while the advantage for the Blue Jays is I think they have the better bullpen, and I think they have the better contact hitting. I think Vlad has to play amazing this series. I think Springer has to play amazing this series for them to have a chance. And then they need some guys that don't normally contribute with big hits to contribute with big hits, because the Dodgers have an endless supply of players that have been there and done that.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And I think another key player for the Blue Jays is George Springer, who came up huge in that Game 7 against the Mariners.
Yeah. His experience in the postseason before is notable, and I think that if they want to win this series, they don't have to be off the backbones of a big hit or big play by him.
Yeah, I'm very excited. And one thing that I didn't realize is the Blue Jays were considered one of the 2 finalists for Shohei Ohtani when he was a free agent, correct?
Yeah. I don't know if they were second place, but they were definitely a finalist for it.
Yeah, and to me, that's what makes this series also special is, whereas the Yankees were, of course, trying to get Ohtani, they had Judge, but the Blue Jays were really looking for that guy, and it almost came down to Shohei Ohtani. And to me, how the series goes, if the Blue Jays win, it could be a huge victory after losing Shohei Ohtani.
Completely true. And I think Game 1 tells you a lot about how a series will go. I still remember watching the Nationals play the Astros, and nobody thought the Nationals had a chance. But once they won Game 1, you're like, okay, they could do this. And even after they went down 3-2, I think by winning those first 2 games, obviously on the road, they had a chance. So that's going to be similar here. And I bring that up because Scherzer is going to be one of the guys who pitches for the Blue Jays. So they have some of their own guys. Now, Scherzer is 41. Is he 40 or 41?
Let's look that up as we continue. He is 41 years old. Yes.
Yeah, I thought he was 41. Because I remember that game that he pitched was on the same day as the Bengals and Steelers game, and people were talking about how like the QBs are both over 40 and Scherzer's over 40. So that's kind of funny to me. But I think that it's going to be a good series. Who do you think will win and in how many games, and who do you think the World Series MVP will be?
I think Dodgers 6. I believe the Blue Jays can push it a little bit. Another thing I'm curious about is Bo Bichette. He was put on the World Series roster, so maybe he makes a comeback. But to me, I can see the Blue Jays having a deep fight or a quick fight because you want to get Game 1 or Game 2, like you said. But if you can get Game 1, you score early, maybe Vlad Guerrero hits a home run in the first few innings. That's a huge momentum lift because I do think, as we talked about with the Dodgers feeling inevitable, I think a lot of players feel that as well.
I'm going to go out there on a limb and say this. It's kind of a 2-part prediction. If the Dodgers win Game 1, I think the Blue Jays get swept. If the Blue Jays win Game 1, I think they win in 7.
Ooh, okay. I like this. Okay. All right. Okay. So, yeah, I think that just speaks to the chances of kind of how it feels for the Blue Jays. But I would love them to pull off the upset. It'd be fun. That's kind of all I have. I'll let you close this one out.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Please let us know what you guys think about this series, who you think will win, and who you guys want to win.